Thanks for coming today. My name is Derek Marabon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I'm up here with Stacy Collett from Dollar Bill Printing. And gosh, we're here for LA2M. Is there any first timers? Anyone the very first time at LA2M? Okay, welcome all you new folks. Some friendly faces from my CPSR. Thanks for coming, Dave. Appreciate it. But anyways, good crowd today, and it's going to be a good topic today. We're going to talk more about business leadership, which I think we can all learn a lot from. Just so all of you know, we do meet every Wednesday here at Conor O'Neill's, except for Christmas and certain Jewish holidays. But besides that, we're here, and it's a good program. We have a big LinkedIn group. You can follow us at LA2M. Follow us on Facebook, LA2M, Twitter, LA2M. And you can actually check in here in Foursquare. You can check right in at LA2M. So the mayor's in the house, Jim is the mayor in the back. And so please check in so we can keep the competition going for that. And just so you know, on format for this meeting, our speaker talks for around 30 minutes. And then we go into maybe some questions for the speaker. And then we do Q&A, not Q&A, introductions. So you will get a chance to introduce yourself at the end of the program. So if you're looking for maybe a job, you're looking for an employee, you're looking for new business, then that would be a good time to introduce yourself. So, bless you, Stacey. So the reason Stacey's up here, LA2M is a 501c3 nonprofit. So we are an educational organization focused on marketing. And we pass the hat. There's no membership fees to be part of LA2M. You can show up and come to our meetings. If you want lunch, it is $10. If you want to pass the hat, we suggest maybe a $3 donation, but that's completely optional. That covers our hard costs, and we use it to help fund any donations we might do. So, LA2M, oh yeah, t-shirts. We have t-shirts. Dee Dave's our model. She's a wonderful model.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we do have t-shirts. So buy them. It's a great holiday gift. And you want to get them to all your family members and your kids. I like to get them for my kids a little big, and then they use them as sleeping shirts. You know, they're always happy. So they're only $12.50?
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap. Sammy's 2 for $25, right? That's easy. So this one's for our speaker. So Tammy, this is for Tammy Burgess. We give one to our speaker. There you go. And we have a sponsor every month. You can sponsor LA2M. We're actually booked up through the year. But after that, I think it's $250 for the month to sponsor. Our newsletter goes out to over 1,700 people. So we get a really good crowd on our newsletter, and you also get a chance to put out flyers of the event. You can say a couple words of the event. And this month's sponsor is Bud Gibson from Eastern Michigan. Bud, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, the Search Marketing Workshop, November 16th, is sponsoring LA2M this month. And if you're wondering, gee, how do I get visitors to my website and get them to become my customers? What am I supposed to do with all of these people using mobile phones, and they seem to want to do business with me? How do I adapt to that? Come to our workshop. It's only $40. Get a great half-day session with Google, Pure Michigan, Quicken Loans, and a number of other notable firms in the area, as well as our students at a midday break who are available to help. And so it'll be at the Eagle Crest, November 16th. You have to sign up in advance. We're very close to full capacity right now, so if you're interested, please have a look at the website, sign up. Unfortunately, I have to leave because I teach at 1. But my associate Scott, there's Scott. Scott is here, and he'll be happy to talk with you if you have questions.
Great. Thank you, Bud. So please do sponsor LA2M. It's a great way to get the word out about your business, and it really helps the organization out. So I think that's all the things I need to mention. Is anybody going to TEDx Friday? Yeah, not someone else right there. Well, there's they only sold like 120 tickets yet, so I'll be there. You can follow along. We're going to be doing, we're going to be tweeting. We'll be doing some live video from TEDx, so we will be there at the Gem Theater in Detroit. And the Tigers play tonight. Yeah, I love those Tigers, huh? So that'll be fun. World Series. Let's win it, boys. And yeah. Anybody else have a quick announcement before I introduce our speaker? Okay. So today's speaker, her name is Tammy Burgess, and she's been a long-time LA2M attendee. She runs a group called Women Making Connections, which I'm sure a lot of you have taken part of. They have great events around town. It's a great place for women to network, promote their businesses. And they even allow men to hang out too, right? Yeah, they like having men there. They like men, so that's good. Yeah. So keep an eye out for women making connections. But Tammy is also good at a lot of things. And today she's going to talk to us about leadership. And I think we'll get a lot out of it. So let's give a warm round of applause to Tammy Burgess. Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? I'm going to drive Roger crazy. Can't hear anything? You're good back there? Roger's not? I'm not on the mic? Is that what you're saying, Roger?
You're okay.
I'm okay. No, we're fine. Sweet.
Oh, screen. Yeah, you're good.
Well, I was going to put the shirt on, but since the mic won't work out, I don't. Thank you for the shirt. We could just like put Detroit Tigers winner of the World Series on the back. That'd be great. So, I just wanted to thank everyone for letting me speak today. I'm not really a public speaker, but I like to do it, and hopefully I can share some information with you. I'm not an expert, but for some reason people think of me as a leader, so here I am talking about leadership, and maybe you'll find out that you're a leader and didn't even know it, or people have told you that you were, and you weren't quite sure what you were leading about. But I like to have my little notes here. So if I get off topic, just wave me back and I'll do that. So I wanted to find out, because I know the group a little bit, but I wanted to find out who here considers themselves a leader. Can you raise your hand if you... Oh, so what are you doing here then? You should be out leading. Recharging. Recharging. Come for the food. Who manages a team? They have employees and people that you take care of? Who has people that they're taking care of that aren't necessarily employees? Steve, who do you manage? Clients. Clients. Who else had their hand up? Somebody back here?
Artists.
Mary, artists. Like painting artists?
Yeah,
And,
yeah, artists and also speakers.
and speakers. That's a good job doing that too. Somebody in the back? Hank, who do you manage?
Independent contractors,
Independent contractors, so people who
business people.
don't really work for you, but they look to you for guidance. Anybody else have anything different? Okay. Who's just totally independent, all on their own? She is, but she still leads. And ladies back here, tell me what you do.
I clean houses,
You clean houses, so.
and
you're
also
just-
I help us healthcare too.
Okay. So you have your clients.
Yeah.
They look to you for cleanliness, not for direction necessarily.
No, they look to me for direction.
Do they? So you're sort of a leader. You're the housekeeper of everyone's home.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
what do
the
you do?
leader of their home, period.
I'm a virtual assistant, and for as far as the leading, I lead and organize a volunteer group for animal advocacy. So those two different separate things. So the one, I'm the virtual assistant, I'm working alone, and then the other one, I'm kind of leader, organizer of the group.
But I have to say, from somebody who's, organized, but I can always use extra help, I would look to you as a leader of somebody who can help me get in order. You have skills that I don't have. So I bet if you take your mindset and turn it into something where you're actually helping and guiding your clients, you might even see that they're coming to you more often, or they're sharing their name with other people who would want your services. So, we all lead in different ways. It's just a matter of looking at it and thinking about it. Is there anyone here who doesn't think they are a leader? I love it. Because one of the traits of being a leader is confidence. And if you're not raising your hand that you're not a leader, you're probably pretty confident. So that's great. Would you invite me here for Mary Lou? They're all leaders. What am I supposed to tell them? Well, I did actually come up with some things because I thought this audience is pretty high tech compared to a lot of other networking groups. So I went through a couple of things, and so sometimes you're a leader even if you don't know it. And then, how many people here think they were born leaders? The one hand. That's it? Leo. Oh, Leo's are all Leo's. Derek's kind of, she's like not quite sure. Okay. So people say leaders are born, and I'm not sure. You know, I kind of feel like I just do things because they need to be done. So I'm not sure if I'm a born leader or if I just learned how because people kept expecting things from me. But they do say that you can be, learn to be a leader. So hopefully I'll teach you a little bit something new today. Here are some of the greatest leaders of all time. Now, I didn't pick this list, but Oprah Winfrey made #1. And for all the years she's been on TV, I think she has affected more people than are in this country. I don't know how well her show goes all over the world or where it is, but she guides people. She's a leader who tells people what's going on. She uses people as examples, and people will do what she says. She said, read this book. They read the book. Even the one with all the little dots on it that was all fake and a lie and everything, they still read it. And it became this huge bestseller. Because Oprah said one word on her television show. So sometimes a leader guides people and they'll do what she says. Martin Luther King, of course, he's a great leader, changed our nation, and he empowers people. So that's another way that you can be a leader. I think Hank is probably a leader that empowers his clients. What do you think, Hank? So we're going to give you that one. We'll give you some empowerment back there. We'll get that change done. Vince Lombardi, who knows who he is? Okay, somebody tell me something about him. Oh, yeah, I know his name, too.
Several Super Bowl and very religious
Green Bay Packers coach was under the Super Bowl.
So I really followed him well.
Okay. And he said he's a religious man, if you didn't hear him. And, I think that just what I think about Vince Lombardi and what I read is that he's really able to manage teams. And that is something that you can do, and we're going to get into this later, but looking at a team in terms of people who follow you on social media is a good way, using all these things that we're talking about, empowering, guiding, and the team. You have a whole team, if you're doing any kind of social media, people who are following you on Facebook, on Twitter, that's your team. If you hadn't thought about it like that, start thinking about it, because it's going to make an impact on your life, on their lives, and on your business. Gandhi. I did a little research on him because I really didn't know that much about him. Kind of a fighter, but a really smart, I don't want to say smart, but wise man who knew what was wrong and what was right, and just did what was right regardless of consequences. And so that is something that you'll want to, I'm sorry, Roger. Should I stand still?
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. Dancing up here. So wisdom to do what's right when nobody is looking, to know what people around you need, thinking about your world and their world and putting it all together is a really important key in being a leader and having people want to follow you. You can be a leader, but if people don't want to follow you, then you're not really doing a great job. You know what I mean? Anybody? Okay, so Sir Isaac Newton, these are a bunch of names here. He was very determined. Let me switch the slide here. impressed with this list of names because there are people on here who have done things like inventing a light bulb. Who would have thought to invent a light bulb? The 3 laws of motion. I mean, you know when you drop something, but do you think, these people are determined to figure something out, to make a difference. And Thomas Edison had vision. Who out here, Derek, I know you've done some stuff, but who out here has kind of created some kind of app or something that's new technology today? Has anybody done anything recent or years ago? Why would it be done?
I developed a small internet standard that was then adopted for helping search engines pull information off web pages.
Okay. And was there something that you said, this is a need, or was it just some idea that popped in your head when you were sleeping one night, you woke up?
No,
and thought, "I can do this"?
I was at a conference and I was talking with some people and the idea gelled there, and then we worked to make it happen, and it happened. So that was it in a nutshell.
And Derek, you guys have an app for LA2M, right?
Right, yeah. Well, LA2M has an app. Actually, Wayne Aker developed it as Ingenuity.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's interesting, I hear you talking about, I was listening, you know this NPR this morning, where they're talking about Google going off-road with these backpack extensions with 8 cameras, and the guys are mapping the Grand Canyon. So they're mapping the hike down to the Grand Canyon. And like when I thought of that, I thought about leadership, and you said the light bulb. It's like, who would have thought to put an 8 camera thing on your backpack and do a video mapping of the Grand Canyon? And it's
Right.
very progressive.
Well, and this evening, my little thing here, I don't know if it falls into any of this stuff because I've created a cigar case and a head cover for a golf club. So I have a meeting this evening with some investors. So if you see this cool little cigar case out there that will have Tammy Burgess on, I'll make sure that it's tagged with my name on there. You'll know that I can maybe be on a list somewhere of inventors or creators and having a little fun with my ideas that constantly show up in my brain when I'm trying to sleep. So old school leaders, these are some of the qualities, and I bet a lot of you have all of them, if not most of them. We talked about Oprah guiding, sharing and telling, empowering, vision, competence. Confidence is something that everyone in this room, I think, has. You're all here, and it does make a difference when you show up, whether you're showing up here, whether you're showing up in business, for your family, or for that crazy idea like a cigar case, like they haven't been done before. That's just different. So you got to show up, be present, and these are some of the things that we've been told over the years: determinations and expectations. How many people have kids? About half of the people in here have kids. And do you set expectations for your children? Do they know what they are? Do they meet them? I see heads shaking no. I think if we set those expectations for our kids at a certain level, then we should set our expectation for ourselves at an even higher level, and set expectations for our employees, our team, our followers. You know, when you're doing some social media, if you put something out there without any expectation, even though it's just words and you haven't been face to face with people, the meaning kind of comes through, you know, that saying, read between the lines. So if you don't really have an expectation, maybe you haven't written it clearly enough so people don't respond. I know Bud was talking about the SEO and how to get people to your website, but that's great if they get to your website, but what are they going to do when they get there? You want to convert your visitors into clients or guests, and so thinking about your expectation, think about it a little bit longer. figure out what it is exactly that you want people to do, because people will do what you ask if you just tell them. That's my experience anyway. I think that's why people look at me as a leader, because I tell them what I want. It's very clear, and then they're willing and able to do it. But when I'm very vague, nothing really happens. So set your expectations, think about it, and really understand what's going on. So new world leaders, I kind of came up with some different things. Online, we're talking about advice. Sometimes people want advice or they want information. So when you're out there doing your social media, think about what your followers are looking for. Who out here does Twitter on a regular basis? Derek, how many followers do you think you have?
4,000 some?
4,000. That is personal or business, or?
That's my personal.
That's your personal?
I'm embarrassingly low. 4,000. I think I have a couple hundred.
Couple hundred? That's good. Laura, did you say you had?
500.
500? That's good. Anybody else out there with anywhere up to 1,000? Who has more than 4,000? Anybody? Derek, you are our leader. So, can you give me some tips? Because I have some in my head, and I want to hear what you have to say. Because I've got, keep it short on here. Can you tell me what your number is when you're tweeting?
The character count?
Yes.
So I usually shoot for 120 characters, because that gives people the opportunity to retweet it and still have room.
And still have room. That's one of the key things, because if you are a true leader, people want to share your information, they find what you have, they retweet it, and if you use the 140 characters, you're out. They're taking away probably your link or something else, and they're putting information in there. So make sure that you're retweeting or tweeting 120 characters, and so that's the keep it short part. And be real. Derek, you said this is your personal, so, you know, I'm sure Derek shares a lot of other information as well. It's not just soccer kids, right?
Right now. I mean, really, you're supposed to share more about other people. So when David Murray was here a couple weeks ago, he said 8-to-1 ratio. So 8 times you share about other people, 1 time about yourself. Because if you brag about yourself too much or talk about my kids too much, then people get bored.
Okay. Who else does something other than Twitter? Facebook. Oh, so you tweet or you do one of those, I don't know.
Foursquare, it goes to.
You do Foursquare and it goes to all of them. You're shaking your head, you do that as well?
Yeah, something similar to that. I have a blog and then automatically post out a short version on Twitter.
Okay. Who else back here said they do Facebook? How many followers do you have?
Me,
Friends, I guess.
400 some on
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay.
But I don't like the idea of doing the same thing on Facebook and Twitter for the people who follow me on both.
That's what I was thinking, is especially if you do LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. I don't remember what the new one is called. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Yeah, Pinterest. I'm on it. Do people follow me? And I'm not sure why, because I'm not really sure what it's for. I'm posting up pictures of furniture that I want for our new house. I figured that's like a little scrapbook, but I'm not sure why people follow on it. So, yeah, how do you think people feel about you posting the same message on all 4?
Sure, I do have overlap, but a lot of people don't. So I'm not sure.
How do you, as the audience, feel about somebody posting the same message on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and maybe someplace else? Overwhelming? What is that? Can be overwhelming. Overwhelming, because you're getting the same message. But it is, you might check Facebook and not LinkedIn, and then you go back to LinkedIn, and so maybe you're getting it once or twice, but.
That's what that was my thinking of why I do it. some people are not going to see one.
Right, there's no right or wrong way to do it.
I mean, I think it's okay if you're posting infrequently. So if you post every so often, it's okay if your Facebook goes to your Twitter or vice versa. But for example, like I've seen companies do it where maybe they're at an event or they're doing something and they share, and a lot of things if you share them on Facebook, when they go to Twitter, they don't look quite right. So then you just get this big Twitter stream of like, what the heck is this? So it looks like someone co-opted your Twitter or your Facebook. So you have to be real careful if you're doing frequency things because it might not look good in other places.
And if you want to post something on Facebook that's, I don't know, 400 characters, you're going to lose a lot of that, and it's not going to translate very well to Twitter if it gets cut off. So, again, the reason I'm talking about the social media is because that is a place where you are leading, but you may not even recognize it because there are people out there and maybe all over the world who are following you and wanting to know what you have to say and sharing that information. And as your numbers increase, it just goes. They may not follow you. The people who read Steve Derek's, they may not come back and follow because they just want to know what this other person is saying. And that person keeps giving them good information. So they're just kind of waiting for the good stuff. They don't want to know everything Derek has to say because they live in Germany. You know? So think about that. And then complimenting, like Derek said too, 8 times for every one that you post about yourself. So if you're sharing or complimenting someone else, that's a really great way for people to feel good about themselves. They're going to want to follow you. You're going to increase your numbers. And again, for me, it all comes back to making money. You can have 4,000 followers and they can all go to your website, but they're not doing what you want them to. If they're not converting into customers, then all you're doing is spending time typing. I don't like typing. My fingers are already sore. So I want to get to the point. And I told Derek my speech here would not be a half hour because I like to just do the point, just bullet points, just the facts, and go from there. I'm not a fluffy person, so Twitter should be good for me. 120 characters, I like that. Focus. Make sure you're giving back to, and then effective leaders lead by example with honesty, confidence, compassion, intelligence, and humor, which I think sometimes gets lost when we're doing social media. And sometimes it's hard to tell whether somebody's being funny or serious or sarcastic. So make sure that, I don't know if the LOL works really. It's like, if you have to put it, it's really not that funny. And then how many people here have a little tablet or phone or something like that they can go online and do a test? A few people? No, I thought everybody in the room would. Because I put this test on, it was going to be like a skills leadership assessment test. And so I have it on our website, womenmakingconnections.com, and then if you go to news, I put the link there. And I kind of wanted to be able to do that now, so if there are a few people who want to do it, it's a quick little thing. It takes less than maybe 5 minutes, 3 minutes or something like that. So if you have that and you can do that, it's womenmakingconnections.com, or then just go to the news tab and click on news and you'll see it. This is from mindtools.com, and that's the actual link to the test, or you can get to it from Women Making Connections as well. And I did the test. It said I was an excellent leader. But what it is nice is that there were a few things that I needed to work on. So it told me those areas that would benefit me in my leadership skills and ability if I would work on those. And then it gives me more information. It's a free little test. And MindTools has a lot of great information for learning and leading, so I wanted to share that with you guys. Are you guys, a couple of you I see are there. Did you find it? I think it's 18 questions and it's just a button. Push a little button. I do it here, but I think we get too many different answers. We'll see. Does anyone have any questions?
So can you tell us how you use your leadership to make money or to drive track whatever it is that
I can, yeah. One of the things that I think it wanted me to do was talk more about myself, and I had my site analyzed. And they're like, everybody wants more Tammy. So I'm like, I don't want to be, it's not about me, it's about everybody else. So in terms of my company, Women Making Connections, what I do is I try to find out what you need, and then I help you make that happen. We do networking events. I make sure that people are introduced that have common goals or common interests, or that they can meet your needs, and vice versa. So the way I'm making the money is through partnerships, people who want me to promote them because they know I have a following. And if I support somebody, it's because I trust them, I know they're going to follow through and they're going to do what they say they're going to, because it's my reputation on the line. If I'm going to promote you to this group of people, they're going to trust you because they trust me. So if you let me down, then I let all of them down. So I really get to know people and make sure that I'm not just trying to make money by passing around referrals. You know, a referral is great, but it has to be somebody I trust. And so we have events where you can come and meet people. We have our newsletter, we have the website, and so a lot of different opportunities for people to connect. And then I get phone calls all the time from people asking for things. When I lived in Heartland, I started a business association that was 20-some years ago. And the library kept telling people to call me about a new development that was going on. And I was like, they called the library. I don't know if they called town hall first, but I was getting home phone calls because the library kept telling people from all over the country to call me because I knew. I didn't know. But I was only 23 years old, and at that time, for some reason, they thought because I did one little thing, I was this leader, this know-it-all, and people started referring people to me. At that time, I had no clue. I just took a piece of paper and said, I want to start a business association, come. And they did. And it worked out. It's a Chamber of Commerce now up in Heartland. So, anyone else?
We got a question back here.
As someone who's been a leader for most of your life, not all of it, most likely you take inventory when you meet people or groups of people and to be able to tell, hey, this person makes a good leader, or this. My overall question, and since you're actually looking for it, what skills are most often missed when people are trying to be leaders, but they're missing the boat?
I think maybe following up with people. If you're leading people and you're telling them to do something, then you need to do what you say you're going to do on the back end. And a lot of times we get busy and things get put aside. I started this project, and then I moved on to a different project because it didn't seem like it was working. And so I think we end up losing that momentum when we have too much on our plate. So focus is probably one of the things that would maybe be missing that I see, people that I work with, or myself.
Questions?
Did somebody finish the test?
I'm going to finish the test.
Right here? A couple guys?
I hear you got a question back here.
Is it, I guess, what's the likelihood, like, as you're growing your business, and what's the likelihood of, you said that they look to you as an expert, you almost have to, seem to give to like be the example, but you also, how big does your business have to get to, like, are you still the linchpin of your business as it continues to get bigger and bigger? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you say how big does your business have to get?
or, no, not how big does it have to get, but when does it, like, is it helpful to always be the anchor of your own? Like, you start out like as a solo entrepreneur and you have your own business and you're marketing your product and you believe in it and you're telling yourself, where's the line where it comes less about you and more about your product?
I think for myself, and everybody has a different way of doing this, but as a business owner, I'd rather step back and let other people do the work and give them the guidance and the praise, because it empowers them and it makes your business stronger. As a single person, you can only do so much. So the more you can empower people to be part of your business, the more you can grow, and it offers you a lot more opportunity and time to be out there developing a new product or whatever it is that you might be doing in your business. You said product. Do you have a product?
More of a service.
A service? You want to share?
Oh, sure. Right now, I have a wellness business, so I have clients, and I guess I'm providing the service, but eventually I'd like to, I don't see myself constantly just getting having clients, and I would like to make it less about one-on-one and more gradual. I just don't know if there's like, if you pin yourself against the wall, where it's just about you and expending your time for money. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Versus
right.
trying to get some automated.
Your
things
income
going.
is so limited because your time is
Yeah.
finite. You know exactly what you can do. So I understand it. It's a difficult thing when you're talking about wellness too. You need to talk to Hank. Hank has a good system going on.
So Tammy, what if you're not sure if you're a leader? How do you figure that out and find where you should lead in your experience?
Well, I think that test is really going to help people to decide where they're lacking. I don't want to be the expert. I told you right up front, you know, people just think I'm a leader and I act like a leader, but I can't really tell you how to lead because everyone's different. My goal here today is to help just expand your thought process in either being a leader or becoming a leader. But this test gives you some idea if you want to be a leader. Some people don't want to lead. That's totally fine. If there weren't people who wanted to follow, there wouldn't be leaders, right?
Actually, a really interesting question. I think it's kind of interesting. My question is, can you actually lead, or can you build a business successfully without being a leader? Can you start a business and can you grow it like as big as you need? I'm just honestly, I don't know.
There's some of the qualities in here. Well, definitely. Determination, determined to be successful, that'll get you there. If you have a vision, if you have focus, all of those things, you don't need to lead a team. If you have the determination, the vision, the focus, and you know what you're doing and you go for it, what could stop you? Lack of confidence. Yeah, confidence.
Some people may be leaders in some areas and like models in other areas.
Yeah, you know, if you're a mom, you're leading those kids, but at work, you may just be, you know, I don't want to be a leader. I just want to do my work and go home. You know, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with followers. We want followers. We need people to do things.
Yeah, in fact, like you said before, you need followers to be a leader. And there was a great video, I don't know if it was YouTube or it was a TED video, but it talked about the importance of the first followers to an idea. It's at least as important as whoever came up with the idea. You need those early adopters to make certain ideas and certain enterprises work. So you need to pay attention to those early adopters, those early followers, and help them do what they do. Because they're leading at the next level.
That's so true, especially with our ever-changing technology. Who wants a mini iPad?
A what? Oh.
A mini iPad?
iPad mini?
Nobody? Oh, she does. She's got her hand up. Sorry, I don't have one. They're not out yet. I was listening to NPR today too, and they were talking about the mini iPad. And that, you know, for $329, the inch or two is gonna make that much difference for me. Derek, he has, his test done. Do you wanna share some information with us?
Sure, I do have a question. actually.
Okay.
So as a leader, how do you cultivate what motivates different people? Like different people are motivated by money, some people are motivated by other things than money. How do you as a leader develop what motivates your team or your followers, or do you have any insights on that? Because it's something I deal with my team, is not everybody's motivated by the same thing.
Right, and I have a very diverse group of people who attend the events and who are members of our organization, so everyone is different. What I like to do is I like to sit down and ask questions and then listen, because that's where you're gonna get that information from them. Is just because you're a dad and he's a dad and he's a dad, doesn't mean you're all looking for the same motivation. If you're a, a coach or something like that, you need to motivate your kids differently. The parents need to be involved in it. So by asking questions, to me, is the most powerful thing, and then listening. If you don't listen, you can, if you're thinking of the next question while they're talking, you really haven't done any good for yourself.
Thank you.
You know what's a really wonderful book, speaking of listening? It's old, but 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Have you, Covey?
Yes.
It's just wonderful.
Any more questions? All right, let's give, oh.
Just to share his test.
You want to share some results?
Sure, I scored fairly high. I got a 74 on here. I am a leader. I do have a team, so I would expect I would score fairly high. I think it goes into the excellent category. But I think it's very telling. I mean, you can read the questions, you can kind of, you can tell what makes a good leader. All these qualities that you're talking about are in the past, obviously.
But if you take it honestly.
Right, no, we're not trying to.
And that is the key. You're the only one who's going to see this. And if you want to know where you need to improve, because I put some answers down there that I wasn't so happy to have to put, but they're the truth. And that's
right, and that's why I didn't get 90. but I did score high.
Good. So you can go to the website, either Women Making Connections, and then go to the news. Oh, sorry. And it's on the news page, or you can go right to mindtools.com and just check out all their stuff. And I'd like to invite you all as my guests to come to Suburban Chevrolet on November 14th for Girls Night Out. We're talking about the Old Boys Network, so we do need men, and they're not just welcome, but we just like having you around. So come join us November 14th.
Great. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you very much. So we're going to talk about the Old Boys Network. That sounds like fun. All right. So now you get to introduce yourself. So we'll pass the mic. I ask that you please stand up, give us your name, your company, and if you're looking for anything, and we'll get all the way around the room in 15 minutes. And we'll start right up here with Bruce.
I'm Bruce from Upper Scientific, and I'm a signer.
I'm Hasselberg. This is my wife is with me, but I just left her home. But anyway, we have several businesses that we have. One of them is, 2 of them are actually networking. The other one is actually product oriented. They keep us very busy.
I'm Jerry Willis, and I'm a small startup in Ann Arbor that connects students to professionals.
I'm Brian Portes. I'm with University of Michigan ITS.
I'm Barry Livesey. I'm with a company called Hydroclean. We specialize in flooring roll cleaning.
Hi, I'm Ben Torres. I'm a State Farm agent. There's a lot of State Farm agents, but I'm the only downtown agent, so we're pretty happy about that. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or you can walk out this back door and in about 20 yards you'll hit my front door. So I'm right here on that street. So we're always looking for great clients, and we're proud to be back downtown. We were downtown 7 years ago. I was working with a different agent, and no one else is brave enough to be down here, and we're glad we can do that.
I'm Bob Shannon. I've got my own CPA firm in the Ann Arbor area, and I specialize in helping startups, high-tech companies, and I keep, both for book and tax purposes, I keep your accounts on track. I will be having a website within about 4 weeks, so you'll see it then.
Hi, my name is Joanne Jonah. I work for Reinhardt Realtors. I help people, I assist them in helping them buy or sell homes. So if you know of anyone, you can look for me afterwards and I'll give you my card. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nate Zampa. I'm an independent business owner, affiliated with an organization called Network 21, which is a system of developing e-commerce business nationally and internationally. So we help people do that, we teach them how to do it, and we're supporting them.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Thomas Blackwell, principal owner of Impel International. We're a training and development company, so I especially like your seminar today. We specialize in personal leadership. Also, we're going through the gift giving for the next 3 months. If you're looking for a very unique gift for either your employees or your family members, check over.com.
Hello, I'm David Thomas. I'm with the University of Michigan ICPSR, which is a data archive there.
Yvette Holter, also with the University of Michigan ICPSR.
And I'm Lynn Detterman, ditto. I'm Stacy from Valleyville Copy, and we're working on your calendars for you guys. And we're a local digital print shop, and we do calendars and postcards and all sorts of great things. We're cost-effective, fast, and efficient.
Hi, I'm Greg Melvin. I work at Terumo Cardiovascular Systems in west side of town.
Hi, I'm Scott Brockman. I'm here on behalf of the Search Marketing Workshop. Again, it's coming up November 16th. We have 2 great tracks, Effective Search Marketing and Mobile Marketing Basics, and we've assembled a great list of speakers to speak to both of those topics: Google, Pure Michigan, MLive, Quicken Loan. We also have Professor Glenn Gibson from Michigan speaking there. We also, in the $40 to attend, you get 2 meals. So you can come for the meals and stay for the knowledge, or vice versa, depending on how you look at things.
How you guys doing? My name is Troy Springer. I'm the president of Corporate Production Services. And I just got to say, LAM is one of the best networking groups around. I haven't been here in a while, and every time I come back, it just feels like home. I can remember meeting back in the days of Pizza Pino and being a part of this group, sharing and interacting with members of this organization, helped my business grow tremendously. And I probably have to attribute that to Dee and Derek up front, who felt like they took me under their wing a little bit, but this is just a great group and I love being here, so it's good to see all you guys.
Hi, my name is Steve Weissheim, and I show people how to eat for success. Ask me how.
Hi everybody, my name is Jim Musial and I work in web and mobile development. We work with companies to help you with your website and make it mobile friendly. So if you have a site that needs some mobile work on it, we'd be happy to talk to you. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Martin Smith, a marketing strategist with A-Side Worldwide here in Ann Arbor, and I'm also owner of a photo booth company, and I'm looking for a marketing intern. So it'll be a part-time paid internship.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Marab. I own Round Town Incorporated. We do tours, individual and group tours of the Ann Arbor area, and we have an office in Carytown. And it's nice to see you, Tammy. That's where I met you the first time when you stopped by to do a little woman-to-woman marketing, right? That's right. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Weffner with the Ultimate Analyst. And by now you're probably sick of hearing me tell you that I make homes great, but I specifically focus on small service businesses. And I focus on getting on the free part of Google, not the paid.
Hi, I'm Justine. I'm a virtual assistant, which is basically like an office assistant, except I do it from my home instead of your business. And it's good for small businesses because it works with the ebbs and flows of your business instead of going through hiring an employee and firing an employee when you don't have the business and so on. Glad to be here.
Hi, my name is Holly Esper. My business is Holly Faith Cleaning and Healthcare Services, and basically what I do is I help people organize their homes, and I take care of the people that can't really take care of themselves, and clean their houses. So, thanks.
Do you have any openings? I'm Roger Rayle. I'm an information consultant and a venture catalyst. I help people organize and understand their information and get the meaning of the information out to their constituents. I'm also a co-organizer of Ignite Ann Arbor. Ignite Ann Arbor number 7 is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the auditorium at the business school. You can go to igniteannarbor.org and sign up. We have more sign-ups than there are seats right now, but we always have some attrition, and I will be live streaming it, so we may have an overflow room if we need it.
Hi, I'm Dennis Kapinski. I do sales and marketing and help out Roger with the videoing.
Susan Harris, technical writing, internet infrastructure engineering. Got to stand up after all.
Hello, Laura Spenceley, Surpro Canton, Surpro Washington County, your 24-hour fire water remediation specialist, making your loss like it never even happens. I'm here today to wish Michigan a happy Go Tigers.
Hello, my name is Brandon Black, and I am a leadership coach, and I was invited by Barry and also Tammy, so I couldn't wait to be here. It's my first time here. Thank you for welcoming me. I would say I'm a thinking catalyst, if I can steal a word from Roger, and that's why all leadership, I like what Tammy put up there, it's got your wheels spinning. So when you leave here today, you're probably going to think about it the rest of the day for sure, if not the rest of the week and the weekend. And that's how change happens. When you start thinking different in thinking, period, you'll see change. So again, Brandon Black, and thanks for having me here.
Second, we don't. I'm Laura Kirchner, and I'm Gen X Digital Marketing, and we work with businesses and organizations of all sizes to help them reach their business goals by using the internet via website, email, search, etc. And thank you. Today was really interesting.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou, and I am the manager of LA2M. Thanks everyone for coming out. We had a fabulous speaker again today, and glad to have Tammy here. Certainly some very interesting information. I know that we all benefited from her talk. If you all are speakers or know someone who is a speaker who would be of value to this group, please let me know about that, because we're organizing our schedule for January through June. So we're in the process of doing that right now. And once again, thanks for coming out, and glad to have you.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherman from Prince Studios. I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer, sometimes videographer. And I am doing the special still for members of the group. Executive portraits, which are normally $150 plus tax. It is $50, so I'll probably do that another month. I'm shooting the Big Ten cross-country championships this weekend. Strange. It feels strange. One of my clients is Ohio State. I don't know about I will be quiet, silently rooting for Michigan, but I'll be photographing Ohio State.
All right, thanks, Carter. So my name is Derek Marabon, CEO of Gen X Digital Marketing. I work with Laura and some really talented people. We're just a couple of doors down. And yeah, speaking of the Big Ten, my team lost this weekend, so congrats to all you Michigan fans.
Go blue.
Yeah, it was exciting, right? I mean, it was exciting at least. I thought Michigan was going to win by a lot, but State almost won. That was exciting for anyone who watched it, I'm sure. And it was a great, and I think it's good for Michigan to win, because it's good for the community. I mean, we do live in Ann Arbor, as my wife reminds me, and she works at U of M, so it's good for the school, so good for them. Yeah, anyways. Did I have anything to say? I didn't have anything to say. So thank you for coming. I'm going to pass it off to Dee Davey. And Troy, thanks for coming, man. You need to come back more often. I miss you. I miss you. Yeah, you know, it's true, talk about this leadership thing. We did start out, you talk about the followers. We started out at LA2M a long time ago at the Eastern Flame, right, with Farouk. And we sat in there, but then he couldn't get the heat warm enough to accommodate us. So we moved to Pizza Pina, which was great. And that's when it really started to grow because we started bringing in speakers. You know, we talk about early followers like Dee, Stacy. Who else was like Troy? I mean, yeah, Laura. I mean, and then some people have moved on. It's kind of, we miss them. But and then we grew too big for Pizza Pino, so we moved here. And I think the organization is really going along well, and eventually I think it can keep going on. You know. So, anyways, I'm going to pass to Dee Davy, and here she is.
I am Dee Davy, and I am in career transition. For the last 8 years, I've operated Creative Ideas Marketing, and I'm now transitioning back into corporate life. I'm excited and energized to be joining Axiom as a product manager, working on a new and exciting marketing project. I want to thank all of you for your support of Creative Ideas Marketing, and I hope to see all of you in Ann Arbor and around, and of course here at LA2M. I have also been the voice of Lunch, formerly Lunch Ann Arbor Marketing, newly branded as LA2M Old Habits Die Hard. And it's my pleasure to introduce next week's speaker. Ross Johnson is well known in the Ann Arbor community and beyond as one of the experts in web design. But web design is becoming ever more complex because of mobile devices and the nuances and changes. Ross is going to show us how to think about the strategy of developing your website so that it is appropriate and applicable to a wide range of mobile devices and all of the compatibilities that you need to face. Come join Ross Johnson as he talks about one website to rule them all. Website and mobile technology. See you next week at LA2M.